guys, everything under the sun here. Yes, this is a Flying Friday video, and yes, I do have a flight for you, and even more than a flight, I have an exciting unboxing. This is, I guess you would have seen the title by now. I did get the XK A600, so we're going to take a look at it. Now, a couple of things. What I'm going to do is we'll take a look around the box, and then I'll probably fast forward the putting together of it, the construction of it, because you've probably seen a bunch of those videos already. Everybody's putting it together. There's not a lot of fancy stuff there. I may do a voiceover narrated thing, but I want to get right to kind of the flying. And this is going to be basically my second RC aircraft. And what I did was I first got a quadcopter. I learned how to fly that. Then I got my 3-channel, what is it, F969 Skywing, and I learned how to fly that. And in the process, I busted both of them. I wrecked both of them. But I ended up learning through both of them, after fixing them several times, how to fly both a quadcopter and an RC aircraft. And the RC aircraft, the F959, is a 3-channel. I'm moving up to a 5-channel, and this is indeed the DHC 2 A600 from XK, the Beaver airplane, and it's got the 6G. So let's take a look at it, and I'll talk around the box, and then we'll do kind of a high-speed construction of it. I'll give you my thoughts about the construction afterwards, and then immediately afterwards I think I'm going to do actually some modifications to it right away, because I did briefly take it out of the box. I didn't put it together yet, but I took it out of the box to look at it, and it is very lightly constructed. I could see one crash could break the wings, no problem. So I'm going to strengthen it with a bit of packing tape. I think I'm going to try that right out of the box. I'm not even going to fly it before I try and put some packing tape on there just to strengthen the wings. I think that will help. So stay tuned for that. And then after that, we'll cut to the flying. It probably won't be today, but through the magic of the time warp of YouTube, you will see it in the next clip after the construction, I think. After the modifications, I should say. So let's get to it. Alright, here it is, guys. The XK DHC2 A600 5-channel brushless 3D 6D system airplane. It's a little bit of funny Chinglish, if you want to call it that, Chinese English. And on the front you got the 3D to 6G. That the 3D just means full manual mode. The 6G means assisted by way of gyros. It does advertise a Futaba authorized SFHSS protocol, so you can use other controllers for it. I have no idea what that's about. Well, I know what it's about, but I don't know much about the Futaba protocol and all that jazz. It does have 6G mode, which uses 6 gyros, 6-axis gyros. Well, it says good flight performance, stability, easy operation, suitable for beginners. And I'll tell you right off the bat what I want to do with this. I want to have this be my FPV platform. It's got excellent range with 300 meters, and it is stabilized. So now I don't have to. I won't have to worry as much about my wobbly picture. This will actually do a bit of the stabilization with it out of the box. Although a gimbal is always better, but what can you do? Interestingly, it says 14 plus there. Look at the side. DHC2 A600 is a little dark there. There we go. 5-channel brushless motor, 580 millimeter wingspan, 543 millimeter length of the fuselage, and it shows it there. And let's see, that was back and front pretty much look the same. It's got the powerful brushless motor. I think that brushless motor will be really nice to have, save battery, and that'll be great. XK Innovations there, which is the parent company, is a subsidiary of WL Toys, I think that's what it is. And that's it. It's on the bottom. Nothing interesting. So we're going to get to opening it. What I'll do is I'll pull the cover off, and I'll quickly show you the components, and then we'll go into high-speed construction mode. So as I suggested, the real reason I wanted this plane over the glider, the F959, is to do a bit more FPV. This has really good range to it. Let's see, did I get it on the right side? Yes. It has really good range with the 300 meters, and it can fly with a camera on it. So I have my Cyma FPV, so I'll be using that. And I think this will make for a really, really great FPV flyer. So here's the manual. It is actually a very nice glossy manual. Looks like it has decent instructions, better instructions than I've seen anyways. All the configurations, how to throw it. 3G, 6G transformation, we all know that. Alright, here's the wing. Now this is, again, speaking of the mods, this is the thing I thought I would do mods to by putting some packing tape on the leading edge, maybe even along the top just to strengthen it. It is very, I can just flex it like that, and it's a little scary how flexible it is really. I also noticed that they have little sticks, little pieces of tape in 4 places along the ailerons to provide strength. So I may even improve on that. Yes, it's going to add weight, but it's going to be a lot more durable in crashes as well. Comes with the servos installed in the wings. Let's get the fuselage here. Here it is. The motor feels quite strong actually. If you turn it like this, you can feel the pushback of the motor, and it's very, very strong, which is good. It's got a little circuit board in there. Got a couple of PCB boards actually, integrated circuit boards, and it's dedicated servos, so you can replace those. That's nice. The wing does actually screw on, so that's kind of nice for longevity. This battery compartment is actually way deeper than the battery. So the battery goes in like this, but you see how deep it is. It's about 2/3 of the battery. So you could probably actually put 2 of these batteries together, get 600 milliamp hours, and jam it in there, and it would probably work. So we'll have to see how that goes. I do have another battery like this I need to fix, which was for my F959. It does use the same battery. This is the 2.2 watt hour, 7.4 volt, 300 milliamp hour battery. So that's neat. So when you install it, you got to plug the correct left-right servo, obviously. Make sure you don't get it backwards. Here's the controller, which with I think a proper antenna on it. I did notice the antenna in here is actually lying down. If you can see that, it's actually lying down. So I'd probably bend it a little bit upwards, like that. Probably leave it like that, and that way you get much better range than having it lying down. So we'll probably do that. And this might be a good one to do an antenna mod on as well. Probably fairly easy to do so. Anyways, I better not tinker with it too much before I get going. Comes with the standard charger. I got 3 of these now, 1 for each plane. It works. The sad thing is I've got a fancy LiPo charger, but it doesn't have any connections for this little connector here, so I can't plug it in to charge it. So it's a little weird. I'll have to figure out something for that. Comes with the UK charger, but they do give you the US wall socket converter for it in all these. This is actually the battery grate that in all the videos you see flying off. It seems to click in there pretty good, but I guess if you get the battery bumbling around, it may come off. So a piece of tape over there might help, and then just maybe dangling the charge wire out will work. And then what I'll probably do is I'll have my Sima FPV camera right under there. It's not ideal because you're going to see a little bit of the propeller, but I suppose I could put it on top of the wings as well. We'll have to see how that goes. And you get an extra propeller, which is real nice to get, because you're probably going to ding it up. You get some struts there, and of course the tires, and there should be, oh yeah, there's a rear tire in there as well, for steering. I don't know if it steers or not, but anyways. One thing I will comment on is that all these have pieces of tape on them, because they're just crimps in the styrofoam. But the styrofoam on the bottom of my rudder was actually broken. Luckily there's a piece of tape there, but it seems really, really weak. So I think I'm going to fortify that, maybe with some packing tape on the side of it. So something to keep in mind. Maybe even a dab of glue probably wouldn't be flexible, but it's got a piece of tape there, which you probably can't see. And all along the elevator as well, there's pieces of tape. Again, you can't see it. One there, one there, one there, one there, just to provide the hinging action, basically. So otherwise, the motor has got a bit of weight to it. It's a little weighty. So I'm going to put it fast forward now, and we will come back to you when this thing is all together. Okay guys, one note, I won't lie, these are small connectors and it's hard to figure out which is which. The other thing is that it doesn't say which is left, which is right, I don't think. So I'm going to plug them in and we'll just try it. We'll put the batteries in and make sure the ailerons are flipping and flopping the correct way. But you do got to have some patience and do it properly here. All the winding here, the servo's working away. I did wire the wing correctly. So when I go left on the stick, the left aileron goes up and the right aileron goes down. Likewise the other way. So that works properly. I will note that it seems the ailerons do drift a bit. I don't know if you can see this, but this is drifting. Rudder's going, I don't know, it's probably not. Maybe I should try resetting the gyros here. Yeah, it looks like in the gyro mode, the stabilization is probably like 100%, whereas in 3D mode, they give you less stabilization, but it still tries to do its gyro 3D thing, or its gyro stabilization, I should say. Okay guys, what I'm going to do now, I unplug the battery. It's quite a racket when it's trying to stabilize. I'm still unsure about the gyros calibration. I got to get it outside, I think, and maybe plug the battery in when it's level. It seems to creep. If you just sit it there in one place, in theory the servo should quiet down and it shouldn't do anything, but it seems to creep. By which I mean the rudder slowly keeps turning and the ailerons keeps coming up. But I don't know if that's a symptom of I just need to recalibrate, or maybe just in flight it works a little better. What I'm going to do now is do a modification before I even take it anywhere flying. It's way too windy today anyways. So I have some Canada Post packing tape. I'm going to just put a strip along the leading edge of the airplane just to strengthen the wing, make it more resilient to wind and crashes. It's very flexible and seems like it could almost be weak, and I wouldn't want to test it. It's not a light plane overall, but the foam is very light, and I'm going to do some more of the strengthening of the ailerons and the hinges anyways, so we'll get to that. There we go, one on, you can't even see it, and I think that's really going to toughen up the leading edge of this wing. It's not super pretty, but I think that'll make for a much stronger airplane, like I say. I'd rather do it now and add a tiny bit of extra weight than crash it and have the wing break in half. So I'm going to do same to the other side. In terms of weighting, the gyro should do most of the work, but then I can trim it as well as needed. So what I did there is just put a length across here just to make more of a backbone for the wing in general. And yeah, that's going to make for a much sturdier plane, a lot less wobble. And if I happen to hit it, if I crash it, well, it'll have a lot better chance of making it out without major reconstruction work required. And what I'm doing here is I'm just putting a little square of tape just to back up, add more strength to both ends of the aileron, so that if it gets in a windy condition or whatever, it'll just have one more piece of tape. And you know what? If the packing tape doesn't stay on, if it's not sticking because there are ribs here, then I can try something else. But that'll give me a bit more strength in the hinge there. So I'll do the same on the other side. And so what I did here, I just put, again, same as the leading edge, I put tape on the leading edge of the elevator there. And I'm hoping, yes, it's going to add a little bit of weight, but I'm hoping it'll really strengthen it up, really firm it up, and just be a lot more resilient in flight. We'll see how that goes. That may just transfer the brake point to the center. I don't know. But I'm hoping that will help something. And then what I'll do is I'll put a strip of tape on the rudder as well to strengthen that hinge, because like I say, this is already broken from the factory. So a little bit of tape there can't hurt anything. Alright, so it's all taped up. I'm going to make sure the control surfaces still bend and flex the way they're supposed to. We'll see if this works. Just notice my wing isn't pushed down as much as it should be. Yes. So control surfaces seem to work the same. Again, I don't know how long this tape will stay on there, but it's going to strengthen the surfaces. So. Alright, we'll turn it off. I'm going to put the landing gear in. The rear gear here needs some, I don't know what it needs, glue or something. So we'll get that in, and I think the next thing will be, you'll see us taking out for a flight, so see you then. Alright, this is the maiden flight of the XK A600 airplane. It's finally a nice sunny day. We're going to try and fly it here. I got the video in 720p, 60 frames per second, so I can try and fly by the camera a bit, maybe slow it down so you can see it. And we'll see how it works. So let's get it bound, put the battery in, and see if we can fly this thing.
Yeah. Zoom, 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 zoom.
Alright, it's bound. And we'll check our control surfaces. It's correct. Make sure our gyros are all going. And they do appear. I can hear them going. We're going to get this into the wind. Actually, I'll see if I can take it out from the grass here. Not going to work if the grass is too long, so we'll try and throw it here. First thoughts, this is really easy to fly. Alright, we're going to put the camera wind, so you can fly towards the camera a little bit like this. That's pretty fun. Woohoo! Well guys, first impressions, this thing is a lot of fun to fly. It's a little breezy today, but it keeps itself stable. It gives you enough time basically to correct whatever you're doing. This is a lot of fun, and you've seen I've crashed it a bunch of times. It's in a soft grass, but all in all, this is really fun. I can't wait to get my FPV equipment on it. It's going to make for a great plane. I think my battery's wearing out now. It's starting not to kind of get up into the air as easy as it was in that 3/4 throttle. But this is an amazing plane, and the little bit of tape that I added for strength doesn't seem to affect it. Of course, I don't know what it was like before, but it seems to fly fine, especially if I get a few more milliamp hour battery in there. But the stabilization works great, and I really like it. So really fun, and the wind is actually coming from behind the camera here, so that's why I was always coming into the camera. So should have lots of really good slow-mo video, I hope. At least, well, I'll slow the 60 frames per second down a little bit. But tape's bubbling up a little bit. I'll have to fix that. So try and fly one more time here with what's left in the battery, and we'll see how it goes. Alright, that's it. I'm going to give the battery another good charge. That was a pile of fun. Absolutely enjoyed it. I find that a lot more fun than the F959 actually. It handles the wind a lot better. It kind of auto-corrects itself. That's what the gyros are doing. And so I think this is going to make a really good FPV platform. So I'll be doing that video next. Thanks for watching, guys. There's a whole bunch of firewood, which I'm expecting on the homestead here. Unplug the battery so the servos aren't whining. So yeah, this plane, XK A600, this is a boatload of fun. I really like this. I'm glad I got it. I think this is well worth the money, and I think this is even better than the F959 for beginners, especially because it takes a lot of the work out of, well, it helps you to learn how to fly, and you crash it less. So I crashed this a few times, just a little on the nose. All in all, though, it worked very well. And what I'll probably do for the next video, not in this video, not in this Flying Friday video, but the next one I'll put the FPV camera right there, and I'll actually try and fly it. I stayed in pretty close here. I was less than 30 meters away at all times, and this thing goes up to 300 meters. I went out to maybe 80 meters, and it's hard to tell the orientation. So I'm a bit of a newbie when it comes to distant line of sight flying. So that's going to be some practice, and but I think once I get the FPV stuff on there, I'll be able to go much farther and just see what I'm doing through the FPV equipment. So thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe. We will have upcoming videos using this with, whoops, I lost my battery, with my Cyma FPV kit. and should be a lot more fun videos. We'll get high up in the sky in the next one, but this was just my first maiden flight. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you in the next video.